wife, somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's sister is honored, and any stranger cannot come close by to talk the way they talk, or to talk to a woman, or to deal with a girl or a lady the way these Westerners would do. That a woman, clearly I say from Mimbar, today has been, in the name of liberalization, emancipation and freedom, degraded to nothing but a chattel of sex. Accept it or not. And it is now for a mu'mina woman to decide whether she is a Muslim and her fundamental and principles are that of Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. Then she will put on hijab without any scruples and will maintain that hijab and will maintain her honor. She will go to school, she will go to college, she will get the best of education, she will be enlightened, but she will be following the fundamentals of Islam. Because her view is that I have been sent by Allah for a purpose and I'm going to go back home, their ultimate reality, to answer. It's not only for here that I have come to play and make merry and then die and perish. I am not going to perish. I am going to subsist. If that is understood by a lady, there is a difference. So to which camp do we belong? And how much is the difference? That we shall be discussing, inshallah ta'ala, in the future. It will shake when I will produce all the evidences that have been printed, one after the other. It will shake us all. And for the first time we will come to know that while we believe that we are in a rose garden around us, actually we are living in intellectual dirt and spiritual filth. May Allah save us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Last Friday we were discussing about civilizations, and I gave an example as to how living in the countries which have its own civilization, we are facing with a new problem. The problem of conformity, the problem of conceding, the problem of acquiescence, the problem of reconciliation with a type of civilization which is diametrically opposed to our religion. Yet it is a civilization. And in such a surrounding and environment, we are out to see that our identity as far as our religion was concerned is saved. I might sound a prophet of doom if I say this, but I say this with all conviction, that after having traveled beyond London to places in Midlands and Yorkshire and Lancashire, I have seen places where it is difficult to believe that the young people, their young men and women, are not only a non-practicing bulk, but they have already started even disowning Islam. They are children of Shia Isnashri families. When you talk to them, they talk to you in terms of a non-Muslim. And when they join Muharram or Eid or anything, their position is that of a detached spectator. The family is celebrating, they are also attired in good clothes, but they are least interested. The golden earring is in there. The hair has already overgrown. The dress is that of a rebel, a rebellion against society, against established values. And the look on his face is that of a detached spectator who wants to ridicule your customs, your beliefs, but because he is under pressure from his parents and his immediate society, he is silent. Given a time, one day he will speak. How did I come to know this? Because I ventured to talk to them, to win them over so that they could confide in me, and when they opened up their hearts, they spoke up what they believed. Normally when they see any person who is older or an alim, they try to run away from his shadow as far as they can. This is what is happening in Lancashire, in Yorkshire, in Midlands, and in parts of England where we live, London. So while we are trying our level best, the co-workers in this field have told me repeatedly that, brother, we have already lost this generation. Let us now try to work for the next one. This generation is already out of hand. Now that is a very sorrowful picture. Because if you have a son who is already 18 or between 18 and 30, 25, and if you tell me that he is lost, but you are only trying to save his son or his daughter, who is either already born or might be born soon, then we are dealing with a gap which is going to be a very dangerous gap. Why? Because while we kept silent, and I say this in presence of Maulana Sayyid Shabiul Hasan, Hafadahullah, who is here, and I've seen Aghay Kirmani, who is here, I take their names because, and Mullah Fida Hussain Khaki, I take their names because they are like me who sit on mimbar. Some of them are more educated than I am, no doubt, but they sit on mimbar. We from mimbar have not been able to tell them even the fundamentals to them, nor have we been able to communicate with them. And the result was that the media has communicated with them. Whatever they wanted to convey, they have conveyed. And the media is not interested in conveying or sending the message of Christianity, because we haven't understood that there is a difference in Islamic civilization and the other civilization. They are not interested in proselytizing, in converting people. They want you to understand only one thing, that you may not become Christian, but you must not remain a Muslim. That is the secret, and that is the idea. Now, from the mimbar we have failed. When a person fails from the mimbar, he fails in the field also, does not want to talk, does not want to meet with the young people, or has no time for it. Young man who comes to mimbar or comes here to listen to this majlis, irrespective of the language used, comes to a program which is a monologue. I speak and you hear. While the urgent need has been always of a program based on dialogue, where there is an opportunity for someone to stand up and say, but Mr. So-and-so, will you explain further? So there has got to be a forum in which young people could communicate with the speaker and try to find more and express the objection. That is not there. Contrary to that, the campus in a university, the colleges, the friends, the schoolmates, the teachers, and the media has allowed a lot of free hand, and therefore the mind is subjected to that influence. And when I say this, I don't say this only for Shia Nashri school. I say this for all Muslims. Because whether you are a Shia Nashri or a Ghair Shia Nashri Muslim, you are a Muslim and your faith in Islam is at stake at the moment. That means in those fundamentals which are Tawheed, Nubuwwat and Qiyamat, where Sunni and Shia are all united. We believe in one God, we believe in the prophets, and we believe on the Day of Judgment. There and Quran and Majid, there no Muslim can dispute with his fellow Muslim. So life has become what we call in English a dichotomy. We don't live what we believe. And looking at life, it was like this, like when we were young in Gujarati, we used to study that one day two villagers, villagers are simple people. We call them Mr. Simpletons. They entered a city and they found one big shield which had been erected in memory of some martyr. One part of the shield was golden, another part was made out of silver. One friend stood here, the other stood this side, and they were communicating to each other, and this man from this side said, "Look at this beautiful golden shield." And the friend from that side said, "It seems you are drunk today. Gold looks like silver to you. It is actually silver and not golden." Now the fellow answered with the same abusive language, and this reciprocates with the same abuses till they came to fists, started quarreling and fighting. And one elderly gentleman passed from there and said, "Why do you fight?" He said, "Because this man cannot see that this is made of silver." And the other man said, "Look, he still insists. I know it is made of gold." And the old man went round and came back and said, "There was no need for you to fight. It only took few seconds to come and look at the other side. You would have found that the shield has two sides. The shield has two sides. You look at one side and you ignore the other." Similar anecdote has been related by Maulana Rum in his Mathnawi, where he talks of 4 blind people put into a room to inspect and tell by touch at what is an elephant. A huge elephant was there. All 4 were blind, and one just came to the trunk and said, "Well, it's very easy. An elephant is a long pipe." But the other fellow was at the feet. He said, no, it doesn't look like a pipe. An elephant is just a big pillar." And the third one was at the tail. He said, "What pillar and what tube you are talking about? It is just a small brush." And the fellow who was standing near the ear, he said, "It is neither a pillar nor the brush. It is a big fan, good enough for someone to be relieved in severe heat." Maulana Rum does not talk of blind people. He talks of people in the dark room. Because he talks of the people in the dark room, therefore the solution he gives is, he says, if they had a small candle in hand, they would have been able to see as to what it was. Life in Islam is totally different from life as viewed by the Western civilization. That is where we have got to first come to the roots, and once we come to the diagnosis of the roots, the problem will inshallah be solved. In Islam, when we say that it is a complete code of life, we mean that life is not separated from religious beliefs. You will find our fiqh governing all parts and all aspects of life, which you will not find in Christianity, which is the principal so-called religion of this country. And any Christian will agree. Christianity at most promises you a good life here in after, entering the heaven, the gates of paradise. It talks about renunciation of the pleasures of this life. It sometimes leads you to monasteries and monkhood. It talks of justice beyond, not justice on earth. Because Bible does not give law. If you look at Bible, there are no laws. Laws are in Torah of Jews, not in Testament of Christianity. But if you come to Islam, there are laws. Laws governing our businesses, laws governing our marriages, family laws, social laws, educational laws. There are laws everywhere. To an extent that there are simple laws like how to enter the washroom and how to come out, how to use the water for taharat in bathroom and washroom, and how to get oneself clean in the washroom and toilets, and how to behave in public places like that, so that you cause least inconvenience to the next user of the same place. Normally we don't talk of toilets and washrooms in public, but Sharia talks about it. And even usual behavior of a loving nature of parents, when father enters into the house with a smile hanging on his lips and with a small present which he gives to his daughter first and to his son next, even that the Prophet has mentioned as an act of thawab, an act of worship. To visit the sick, to shake hands with love and not with hypocrisy, to talk to each other, to wish salamun alaykum and to greet, everything has been enlisted, which normally you will not find. This is the reason why the Western civilization is not able to grasp. I'll give an example. When there was the revolution, Islamic revolution in Iran, and when Ayatollah Khomeini rahmatullah alayh entered victoriously on the soil of Iran, they tried to find so many loopholes in the personality of our Khomeini. They could not. At the most what they wrote was, he eats simple fruits. Now that is his diet. This is the way how he prays. His daughter died, but he never felt ill about it. This is what they wrote in Newsweek, that when his daughter died, he did not even weep. He didn't cry. He didn't mourn. He said, Allah is the giver and Allah has taken away. These are the things which they spoke. But from America, a book was published, which is still there, and many have got it, I have got it, supposed to be a mockery of Ayatollah Khomeini. The translation is such, which gives you an idea that the person who translated this is trying to ridicule Sharia. And the foreword says that these are the dirty things Khomeini has written. Now what is it? It was actually a risala of taqleed, where Ayatollah Khomeini has given a fatwa as to how to wash oneself, how to do janabat ghusl, ladies in periods, how will they clean themselves, ladies, what is the difference between hayd, istihada and nifas, when does janabat ghusl become wajib, what is the extent till then you have gone that janabat ghusl will become wajib, what is the meaning of fast, how does fast become batil. Now these things involve so many references to things which ordinary people think is dirty. But this is Sharia, which is governing my way of life. Now, no one was there to tell the translator that this is law. Please try to understand in that context. They came to understand this after 5 years. By that time the book was already out, and I am holding a copy in my own library where this is still lying there. And I was laughing all the way to say, what a poor and sick mentality is there. But no, they are not to be blamed. They don't have any laws in their own religion. We are a religion of law. That means justice and good behavior and conduct promised on earth conjoined with happiness hereinafter. That is the meaning of Islam. So when the view changed, what happened? Two things happened, and I won't take more of your time tonight. One, social life separated from religion. Over. Life became two. One is Sunday church. Another is day-to-day life. In church, Jesus Christ and God reigned. Beyond that, God could not enter. It was not his province. It was just like we Muslims in certain countries have adopted the same attitude, that Jummah to Jummah. We come to Jummah prayers and then inshallah next Jummah. Between Jummahs, a Muslim is not to be seen. So, in the mosque, in the Imam Bara, God is there, Imam is there. Outside, in my business is he there or is he not there? Is the question. They created a dichotomy so that society was something different. If standing in a social gathering, you talked about religion, then you become an odd man out. You are a taboo. Or you are a person suffering from an irremediable obsession. This is what they say. Church. Not here.